Welcome back, YouTube. Tutor UK. Gonna keep this relatively brief as best I can, and just want to sort of highlight, I suppose, or bring to the surface YouTube of the month and its current incarnation. I'm not going to put any opinions in this. I'm just going to basically show you guys some evidence, or not evidence per se, but I'm going to show you a few things. I'm going to leave you all to make your own minds up in terms of how you think this is going and whether it's a good idea. As you can see here, these guys, Gaming Off the Grid, are the current hosts, and obviously they've been running this since, as you can sort of see here, January, to the beginning of the year. For those that don't know about YouTube in months, you're probably not worth watching this video. Maybe worth, sort of scampering back across multiple hosts, and you can see them all here. They're all listed up here, and you can go and have a peruse. I know YouTube of the month isn't for everybody. Some people think it's crap, it's pointless, they don't agree with it, etc., etc. But being a previous host, I do think it's a vessel for good, and I think it has done a lot of good. I've found absolutely tons of channels because of YouTube of the month, and and it was there, and its main sort of driver was to highlight the smaller channels, because YouTube is a big old space, and a lot of people get drowned out in all the noise, and that's what this was intended for. The smaller channels to get a mention, to get some traction, etc. And that being said, generally, other than I think the required amount of subs needed to be nominated, that has gone up slightly. That's a bone of contention, and I can see both sides of that. But generally, outside of that, the winner gets to pick 5 channels. Everyone votes in the 5 channels, and then that winner, as it says here, you can all see it reading there. You're not daft, and that's how it works. There were some guidelines / rules. Some people might say they're not rules; they were only guidelines. But generally retro gaming related, on-screen presence, and like I say, the subs, it used to be circa less than 1,000. It's then increased up to 3,000 since certain hosts have taken over. And again, I can sort of see that a little bit, somewhat, because of the way YouTube has grown. But that's not really that's not the sort of issue per se, because those, if it's 3,000 subs and that includes everybody up to 3,000, it probably does make it a little bit unfair if you have someone who's nominated who's only got 200 against someone who's got 3,000. But that's not the point of it. It's not about making one person be more capable of winning it than anybody else, because obviously the point is you nominate 5 people, and those 5 people all get the same exposure. So, like I say, these guys, Gaming Off the Grid, they've been running it since January, and all went swimmingly. Different winners, etc. We moved over from January, funnily enough, into February, and again, you get your different winners. Pause that one. You get your different winners each month. I'll just drop this down. So last month's winner, David Retro Games Played Badly. And here was his nominees. All good channels. I think I might. No, but did I sub to Bill Betty Hall Clinic from this one? I can't remember. But like I say, all running fine. Unfortunately, January was the one where things went a little bit wobbly. So between Dainster and Dadalad's Gaming, it got a little bit stupid. And we have to acknowledge that. When I hosted it, there were some sort of sock puppet accounts, and accounts that just didn't make any sense. Like I had hairdressing and makeup channels voting on people's behalf and stuff, because a lot of them, especially some of the bigger channels, they don't really advertise on YouTube, but they have the videos on YouTube, but their main driver is Twitter. So a lot of people won off the back of like sending the Twitter followers over, who obviously created sock puppet accounts. So it's not anything new in that respect, in terms of, you know, having multiple stupid accounts. Obviously, these pair didn't really, although I don't suppose it was anything to do with them. It's probably just people doing it on their behalf. But you know, what transpired was, you know, Gamer of the Grid just basically said, look, we can't work out which is legit and which is not, and so they're just going to make them both winners. So it's a tie. So essentially, it's a tie. Okay. So in the past, when I hosted it, I think I might have had two joint winners. I can't remember on you know, any given month, and I basically just said, you've got 5 nominations each. Just seems fair, doesn't it? So people have got 10 channels. There's 10 more channels that are going to get a bit of exposure. What Gamer on the Grid did basically said, you can have 2 votes each, and we'll give the other vote to the previous hosts. Do You Nerd, which seemed really odd. So I'll just show you the actual message. So all this is done outside of YouTube, essentially, because obviously you can't message people out on YouTube anyway. So I'll just show you this first screenshot. Hopefully you can see this. It's not too small, but yeah. Look, so it just basically says here, look, go through it. You can all read that. So here's how this will work. Instead of 5 nominations, you only get 2. Dan Lads get 2. Then for the 5th vote, we are asking prior hosts, Do You Nerd, for 1 nomination to make it 5. I don't understand why they would do that. Hope you're both in nominations for YouTube of the Year. Channels must meet these guidelines. Be on camera. Personality-driven channels, not gameplay channels. So, you know, again, like I say, because there was in previous years, it got deluged with like Call of Duty and Fortnite channels and stuff like that, which obviously back when I was hosting it weren't really a thing. But so I get that some guidelines have to be brought in to control that. Not got a problem with that, because that sounds relevant. Okay, related some way to retro gaming, have fewer than 3,000 subs. So the 3,000 subs has obviously increased over time. Do I agree with it? I say it is what it is. And then obviously it just goes on to sort of say how they want to do, and etc, etc. So between Dana and Marcus, Dad and Lads Gaming, they came back and said, awesome guys, I think totally fair outcome. Marcus, who I've obviously spoke about it, a great call in my eyes. I'm pretty much open to do anything for the sketch, blah blah blah. Just a suggestion, rather than have a 5th channel off Do You Nerd, what if me and Marcus come to an agreement and we both nominate a channel? Which, you know, that seems a very amicable way of doing it, which they did. And obviously they came up with Retro Game Collector and Harper. Fine. So that went on, and you know, that rolled into the next month. Let's find it on here, which is obviously March. Again, just let me pause this, guys. So this rolled into March. Which Dana, Dad Lads won. So these are the nominees: Garage Gamers, Liverpool Retro Gamer, Retro Games Collector, Russ Newton, and You've Been Gamed. So those are the nominees. Obviously, 2 from Marcus, 2 from Dana, and then 1 that they agreed on. Fine. So no problem there. So off the back of March's video, Russ Newton won. So Russ was like, you know, he's come back onto YouTube. You know, he's obviously busy man, busy life like we all have. So he gets the message from them, and hope you can read this. Again, pretty much similar spiel that they sent out to everybody, which is fine. So these are the guidelines. Be on camera. Personality-driven channels, not gameplay channels. Related some way to retro gaming. Have fewer than 3,000 subscribers, as the show is for smaller channels to get some exposure. So again, I would probably contest 3,000 is quite a lot of subs. 1,000 subs, or maybe 1,000 and a half, or whatever. But 3,000 is quite a lot. Maybe not in America. Perhaps maybe that's what they're basing it all on. But across the globe, and especially in the retro gaming circle, 3,000 is quite a lot. And then there's a fifth one that suddenly appeared. Must have uploaded at least three videos in March. So that's like a new rules. I mean, again, I don't know why this has come about, or the reasons why they decided to put this in there, but it seems a little bit out of left field. On any given month, I would probably be lucky to make 1 or 2 videos, perhaps. And obviously, given the current climate with the pandemic, especially depending on what type of channel you are in terms of the retro gaming sphere, might be a pickups video. You ain't picking shit up, are you? Because you're not allowed really out unless you're paying on eBay. So, or you might be a car boot retro gaming video, or flea market, as the Americans call it. So that you might have been ill. Anything could have happened. To sort of say at least 3 videos in a given month, I don't know. I don't know why they've come up with that figure. I'm not sure why it's 3. Why not 4? Why not 2? Why not 5? I don't really know. I can sort of understand it a little bit in terms of you have to be active on YouTube, because there's no point waiting for someone to be YouTube of a month if they've not even been on YouTube for that month. Totally get that. But 3, I don't know. I would probably say 1 or 2 maybe. Right, 3 just seems an arbitrary number. I'm not really sure why. So that's a rule that they just decided to put in March for when Russ won it. So again, just some snaps. So Russ went back to him and said, "Hi guys, to be honest, the new Rule 5 has put a span in the works, as the most of my possible nominees haven't uploaded 3 times in March, because the smaller channels, they're trying to find their feet. Could be a confidence thing, right? It could be, like I say, it could be a plethora of different reasons, to which they then come back. We added that rule because we have noticed most of the nominees lately haven't really been active on YouTube, and that's not fair to other content creators who grind week in and week out." Yeah, but that's not what YouTube of the Month's about. It's not about other content creators. It's about the people that are getting nominated, which is Gruss's choice. It's not your choice to tell him that other YouTubers are making videos week in, week out. More power to them. Well done. They've obviously got more time on their hands. Maybe they don't work. I don't know. But I don't understand why that's even relevant. So, and to be fair to Rusty, I said, okay, let me have a look at my nominations. It sounds good to us. Let us know if you have them. Also, interactive, blah, blah, blah. So he's made a few changes, and he's sent them over. And obviously, we'll see those nominations anyway in the next video. But this bit here, I don't really understand. Because it's not, YouTube of the Month isn't to do with the global YouTube platform. It's to do with the retro gaming community, and it's also to do with the winner having that ability, that choice, as a prize, I suppose, to nominate 5 channels of their choosing. Right. So as long as they fitted into the first categories in terms of, being retro related, etc., fine. But to then chuck this in, it's not fair on other content creators. But those other content creators who grinded in, week out, Russ is not going to nominate them anyway. So it's a moot point. I don't really understand why you would put that in there, because this isn't your choice. Regardless of what you think, and you obviously do think that other creators who grind week in, week out are not being treated fairly, that's not your decision to make. That's Russ's decision as the winner to nominate who he sees fit. So, that was a kind of... So we've had where they tried to shoehorn in a vote from a third party, Do You Nerd, into it, which obviously then, a one-off thing, because of the situation with the weird voting stupidness that went on, kind of got that. But then this one here, this is the following month, don't forget. So they've only been doing it, sort of 3 months in now, or whatever it is. And this is the second time now that they're moving the goalposts, essentially. And I don't understand why. But Russ, he obliged and he fitted into their bizarre criteria. So if we move down onto April's, let's find April's. Again, just bear with me while I pause this. Let's drop this down. Okay, so these are the ones that Russ voted for. As you can see there, the winner for April was Russ. Nominations for March: Hyper Trigger X, Planet Retro, Goodwin's Place, Game Zone Birdman, and Retro Reclaimer. Okay, so there's those who Russ voted for. Now I know for a fact that Planet Retro won. Okay, so Big Game Al, Planet Retro. He won, and he was chuffed to bits. Really was, you know, because he's a relatively new tuber. Plying his trade for whatever you want, you know, trying to fit in, trying to find his place, etc. So, and it is a big deal. You know, I know some people, again, like I sort of said previously, that they may not really, but you know, agree with what YouTube of the Month is, and they think it's all unfair and this, that, and the other. But the fact is, you know, there's channels on there that I weren't aware of, and I've since subscribed to it. This is going over all the years of all the different hosts, and it ebbs and flows, right? It's like, if we put it into football or soccer terms, it's what we call the rub of the green, right? And that's just how it is. So anyway, Big Game Al, Planet Retro. He obviously, I know he's won last month's April's. I don't know why they've said this for March there, because it should be the way around. So they reach out to Al, and this is where we're at now currently. Again, sort of similar spiel. Tell you month for May. All I require from you is a short video, maximum for three nominations. What? Hang on a minute. It's 5. It's 5, isn't it? Because when we looked at Chris Newton, let's go back. Declaring your 5 nominations. Now you've gone to Alan and said it's 3. So yet another month has gone by, and the rules have now suddenly changed again, or the guidelines, or whatever you want to call it, have changed again. And we will nominate 2 people. So, hang on a minute. If this is YouTube of the Month, this is the winner gets to pick 5 people. There's never in the 10 years, as a host, then decided to start to manipulate the actual the nominations. So Alan's obviously gone back and said, no, I get to pick 5. He says, no, we are changing it. So, literally off the cuff, maybe off the back of the fact that, where's that one gone? This one here. Maybe it's to do with this. It's not fair to the content creators who grind week in, week out. So, last month the previous month they were clearly not happy, and obviously their attempt didn't work. So now this month they've just literally gone all out and gone, you know what, fuck it, we're going to steal 2 nominations off you because we feel other YouTube creators grind week in, week out aren't being treated fairly. That's not what this is about. It's not about you deciding who gets to be nominated. It's like when I used to host and used to get people in the comments sort of say, I vote for me, why doesn't anyone nominate me? It's not how it works. So they've literally took it upon themselves to month on month literally start to falsify, manipulate the whole thing. It becomes a joke. Now, none of this is obviously made public. This is not in the public domain. This is not put on any videos. This is not a video that's been being made that sort of says, look guys, this is what we think we're going to do. What does everyone think about it? No, they're doing this behind closed doors, essentially. Obviously, you can see it's on via WhatsApp. So no one's none the wiser. So if we didn't know Alan, or Alan wasn't, you know, socially active on different, like Facebook, etc., or Alan maybe wasn't a strong character, these guys would just be putting their own nominations in, and it just becomes an absolute joke. It's a farce, isn't it? Let's be honest, because all they need to do, because Alan doesn't watch big channels. Alan's a small channel. He's, you know, his sphere is quite small, hence why he started watching YouTube in a month. So he'd put in a couple of channels, maybe they might not even have 150 subs, right? I don't know who he was going to vote for. Was going to nominate, sorry. But pound to penny, these guys here, they're going to be going right up to the 3,000, aren't they? So the 3,000 people, i.e. 2 of them, are going to end up winning. So that's manufacturing, that's falsifying the outcome. So where we ended up with then with Alan, the second one, it says, no, we're changing it. So then we've gone basically, they've gone back and forwards or whatever. So we've been talking to with prior hosts. They haven't spoke to me because I would have told them what for. You still get your 5 nominees, but one of the 5 must be from someone from a different country. So what the WTF? What? It's a different country? What's going to be next month from a different planet than you reside in? Possibly a channel that you recently discovered. But they're just chucking these hurdles in there and these obstacles. Why are the goalposts moving all the time? There was nothing wrong with the original guidelines that have been in there 10 years. We think this rule keeps things diverse. I think diverse. I don't get what this, and help spread the love of YouTube of the month all around the world. What? What are you talking about? So you're basically strong-arming people into picking certain channels that they probably wouldn't even... What if you don't watch anybody who's not from the UK? What if you're Swedish? Right, and you don't watch anybody in the UK because you speak Swede or Dutch. It's stupid. It's absolutely fucking balmy. And they're doing it because they want to manipulate. That's the only thing I can see. Month on month, this has gone on. So, and I'm just going to play you a couple of video clips now of one of their streams. Nothing to do with YouTube of the Month, but obviously it just gives you an idea of their attitude or their disrespect, I suppose, for the actual competition.
The month. This isn't. We're not talking about YouTuber of the Month, dude. What are you doing? What are you talking? Why are you bringing in this? We're not talking about that right now. We're trying to just with WrestleMania, man. You got 9 more months before you even get a new host, so who cares?
And the funny part is, if you want to get serious, is if you really paid attention to quality and nominated good channels, like when we were nominating channels, we had multiple UK channels and multiple American channels and multiple wherever they were our channels. It wasn't about a territory thing.
Yeah, who cares, dude? We're all
thing.
YouTubers. Like, who cares?
Yeah, if you're good, you're good.
I don't care where you're from. But I'm just
and like people want to be like, oh, YouTube this, whatever. You know why what the subs we're at? Why we haven't broke through the ceiling? Because we're not that good. We're at 2,500 subs because we're not that good. We're not at the 1 million subs because we're not that good. When we are that good, we'll be that good, right? It's all about being good. And then when you're good, you'll get what you should get. And it doesn't matter where you live.
Fair enough, but you changed the rules. Well, we're the hosts. We can do whatever we want, dude. So, who cares?
Yeah.
And also, you're not... I don't get... Dude, this is unnecessary drama. And we're just going to ignore it from now on. Because we're having WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Here we go. What's next?
3 videos a month. Old school, man. If you're an active channel, you should at least have 3 videos a month.
Yeah, we put out like 8 a month, dude.
Yeah.
At least. It's not that hard.
What's wrong with that, man? Like, there's channels who have been nominated and winning that haven't posted in like a month and a half.
Yeah, you can't be YouTuber of the Month if you aren't posting about it. Dude, but we're done with this YouTuber of the Month. This is unnecessary drama. This is WrestleMania night. Quit bringing drama into this.
YouTuber of the Month, we are the hosts, that's all. We don't really care.
My 5 favorite matches, that wasn't even the headliner match, and that's nuts.
Can I say something, though? The fact that people know that there's only... that we upped the ante.
And that video's not even live yet?
Tells me that there's a lot of drama behind the scenes, bruh.
Yeah, there's some corrupt shit, because that video's not even out yet.
Scene, bruh. So, yeah. To it, let's go.
Here we go. For the belt. This is for the belt. Come on, Trip.
It's definitely a new rule. It's a new rule because we think that you should be a hustling content creator to be YouTuber of the Month. If you don't got hustle, your name isn't Russell, and you can't be YouTuber of the Month. That's our rule, and we're sticking to it. Why? Because we can. If you don't like it, guess what?
Who cares?
Get the fuck out.
All Stars was wait.
So there you go. I say, hopefully, guys, you could hear those clips. If not, I might have to overlay them back in the video in editing, because I'm not sure if it's going to capture the sound. I'll leave you to make your own minds up. I think it's pretty obvious where I would stand on this, but yeah, Take it easy, YouTube, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.